Light and fluffy. What more do you want in your cornbread? I'm Schuey, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make this cornbread. This recipe is super quick, easy to make, and is going to be the perfect side dish for your next barbecue. So just sit back, grab a drink or two, and let's get into it. To make cornbread, you may need to buy a few ingredients that you just don't have lying around. That being buttermilk, polenta, and bi-carb soda. I'm sure most households will have all the other ingredients in them. I saw that you pre-liked this video. Virtual beers coming your way. Cheers. Today I'm going to be using a 57cm Weber kettle, and I'm going to be pairing it up with a charcoal basket. Why? Because I want to be cooking at temperatures of 180 degrees Celsius today. And how I'll do that is by filling a charcoal basket up with unlit briquette, and I'll add that into a chimney. I'll also add a good handful of briquettes on top and light that up. And once they're all ashed over, I'll place the charcoal basket to one side of the charcoal grate, and I'll tip the fuel in. I'll put the grill back in place. I'll put the lid back on, making sure all the vents are wide open and that the lid vent is on the opposite side of our lit fuel. That way the heat is drawn over our food. And I'm going to give that 10 minutes to warm up. By adding that extra handful of fuel, we'll be able to reach our target temp of 180 degrees Celsius. Because if we just put in that one charcoal basket, we'd be cooking at temps of 150 to 170 degrees Celsius. It's time to start baking, and as usual, I pre-measured all of my ingredients out before I started. So grabbing a large bowl, we can start throwing in our ingredients. We'll need some polenta, some flour, some bi-carb soda, some salt, some brown sugar, some melted butter, some buttermilk, 2 large eggs, just the insides, we won't be needing the shells for this recipe, and some honey. Now just stir that up until you have a nice smooth mixture, and then we're going to grab some cheese and we're just going to stir this in gently, or fold it in, as they say in baking terms. Now just grease up a pan with oil, butter, or the tears of those sitting at home wishing I was cooking some meat today. And now just add the mixture to the pan and we'll be ready for some heat. Trust me, although not meat, you're going to love this recipe. Now, since we pre-warmed the Weber up, that cornbread can go straight in. Just placing it to the opposite side of the lit fuel, and if you want, you can add some smoking wood. I think some cherry wood will be nice for today's cook. Just put the lid back on, again making sure that lid vent is over our food, and set a timer for 30 minutes. While I have you here, have you seen this? Now would be a great time to subscribe to the channel, and while you're there, hit that bell button. That bell button is going to allow you to be notified every time I give you a reason to drink. Today I'm cooking at temps of 180 degrees Celsius, and all up our cook's going to take 30 minutes. Or for those of you who like to use my beer timer, you're looking at a 1 beer cook. Now before the hate mail starts up again, not all cooks can be 10 beer cooks. Or can they? The cornbread has been baking away for 30 minutes, so we need to check to see if it's done. How we can do this is by grabbing a wooden skewer or a toothpick and stabbing it into the center of the cornbread. Or just poke it in gently. And if it comes out clean, you have mastered cornbread 101. Or if your skewer comes out with dough on it, kick your Weber over and start again. Or pop the lid back on, give it another 5 minutes and test it again. Now the cornbread's ready to remove from the Weber, and surely I don't need to tell you that pan's going to be hot. So wear some heat-proof gloves. Now using a butter knife, we're just going to loosen up the edges and then get it out of the pan and onto a cooling rack, and we'll give that about 10 minutes to cool down. And now that it's cooled down a bit, we can slice it up. Now you can put butter on it or maple syrup. I prefer it on its own. Either way, it's that good it's illegal. As always, cheers for watching.